Hey everyone, my name is Kabi, and today I'm going to show you the battle of the two dark players. Those two are quite familiar to you already, I believe, because that is probably our strongest players right now. So another battle they shared with me of their trainings. They tend to play against each other a few times a week, and the best battle I usually go to the casters too, and this one is something I chosen to show on our channel. So as the light, as the blue dark player appears Domino in the bottom right, and in the bottom left there is Altair, and we can see that Domino once again decided to go for some kind of a rush strategy, which is a bit a non-standard build for him, because we usually see him go in the sawmill first lately, but this is probably the idea of tricking his opponent, because Altair is going exactly that build. Of course, I'm not up to know what was between the players, and probably they were trying this rush against the standard build to sort of test out if it is even sustainable, because of course sawmill first into a farm and into a barracks doesn't really seem like a sustainable build against any kind of an early attack. And this is why you really need, or may want at least, to test it if you want to be safe against everything that might be coming up against you. So what Domino does is the quick proxy barracks into the second proxy barracks, pretty much, and if not an all-in, then at least he really goes for it. He really spends a lot of resources on that second rocks, which is twice as expensive as the first one. And what about Altair? He's just going somewhat a standard thing, but also adding a second rocks after starting his tier 2. I didn't really see him scouting, actually, but he's playing like he's somewhat aware of he's up against, especially because we can see him using a higher acceleration scroll, and also goes for the under obelisk block. So this looks to me like a wall-in, which means that the blue goons won't be able to go to the worker line, and what Domino decided to go for is a barracks, but this won't be too easy, obviously, as the red player might also repair. And let's see if this would be helpful. Actually, another acceleration scroll is applied to the barracks, which is not building anything, which of course is not really a good thing to do, and Domino builds his under obelisk next to the enemy's one. It is also interesting that Altair pulls the 3 workers to accompany his goons. I came up with this idea recently, that probably we, the WAR Legends players, should pull the workers more often, because it is not too hard in the game right now to replenish your workers, because they are not expensive and your citadel is not doing anything most of the time, so why not? And this is pretty much what Altair did, and he is also supply capped right now, so he is adding the pigs to it to be able to build even more goons. But what is even more important, his Tower of the Dark Magic is ready, and this building is like not really too strong as a defensive structure, but the really big pro for it is that it can attack a few towers, and it is a few targets at once, and it is magic damage, which means that the starting units are very vulnerable to it. And if some kind of the late game unit, like probably a guardsman, I don't know, or even the Wolf Rider, can really be quite sustainable against it, but the goons really go down relatively quick, and especially the skeleton archers too, but they can also attack something from the distance, but the goons cannot. So the Tower of the Dark Magic really does a great damage in there, but at the same time, I'm not sure what... Oh, it seems that the other Dark Magic was attempted to be built in the left side of the altar's base, the one from the Domino. And also, since Domino had his under obelisk for quite some time, he made a few skeleton archers. And what for Altair, he only now starts getting those. All the time he was rather building the goons, and now he's trying to push back and probably take down those units next to the air rocks. It seems to be a wall-in once again, so probably the skeleton archers should have been rallied inside, but not outside. But players try to micro a little bit, not really spending a lot of time for that. And those two ones probably need to be pulled back. That's what Altair is doing, and at the same time that very blue worker keeps stealing the chests, giving more resources to Domino, who used that to at least go up to the second tier of the Citadel in the meantime. And here we can see Altair going for the Dark Gate, and probably the idea behind that is that he might get a Necromancers to be able to get a Skeleton Warriors, because really a lot of living targets go down, and that is of course a possibility to capitalize on that and get more skeletons. And they are not really somewhat strong units, but they still can split the damage incoming from the enemy. And when someone is hitting your Skeleton Warrior, they are not hitting your real units. So, at some degree, Necromancers just reduce the damage that are coming on your units, because Skeleton Warriors take the damage instead. So, interestingly, Domino still uses his T-Rex and still fine with his T-Rex. But now the Necromancer also come into play. And the two Skeleton Warriors are on the battlefield, out on the battlefield. They go first, so they definitely receive the damage, as you can see right now. They also deal some, not much though. Pretty much nobody have the equipment for the Skeleton Warriors, I believe. At least not the strong sets. But anyway, a lot of units go down, and that means that Necromancers really have something to work with. Altair also tried to micro those. He's not going up to more than 2 still, because after the rework we made, Necromancer really make those skeleton quickly. So you don't really need a lot. But now he lost one, so he rebuilds it. And at the same time, Domino is already up to the 3rd tier. Dark Gate's up, another under obelisk up as well. The second Dark Gate coming. And it seems that he's going straight to the Venom Spitters after all those goons, and that's quite an unusual way to play the Dark, I must say. No hero, no Eater, no Alchemist, no Grok whatsoever, and only the sheer goons with a couple of skeleton launchers. Once they have an under obelisk straight into the hardest Dark unit in the game. Because they need the second tier of the production building and the racial building at the same time, which is quite an investment. And now what I see Domino's doing is he's been trading the supply, because he was almost supply capped, so he couldn't really even build anything. By the way, I'd also love to see a couple of zombies probably before going the Venom Spitters, because all those goons might become your zombies, right? If you do that. But Domino not hiring any zombies. I wonder, by the way, how you can somewhat hire a zombie. So imagine creating a vacancy for the zombie who is applying. What's your resume? Tell us your working experience, guy. How many brains did you eat? Anyways, the Venom Spitters are what's coming, in fact. And as far as Altair keeps producing the goons, it seems like the Venom Spitters will really be the saver. Because who can even hit him? Nobody can hit him. I'd also love to see a couple of skeleton warriors being sent over to the chests, but speaking of which, it is actually interesting how with a block with the 2 racks in this position, Demona really declined all the chests for the... So he denied Altair from taking any chest up to 10 minutes into the game. So it's been 4 chests, 600 resources in each, which have freely went to the Demona's name. That's what I might call a strategy. So all the little things are really a tactical stuff, but the strategy is really interesting. I'm not going to be as bold as to say that it was perfect or something, but it is interesting. Now we can see Altair is about to take down the 2nd tier of the Under Obelisk. We didn't buff the Skeleton Warriors for nothing, right? It's been a time where we significantly increased the damage of the Skeleton Warrior. They keep being very fragile, but they really deal quite a bit if you can't take care of them quickly. So it really shone off in this episode. And the second tier of the Under Obelisk is an expensive building, and it is really a good target to take down, as well as the 2nd tier of the Elven Tree, by the way, because they both unlock very expensive and crucial units such as Wind Mages and Venom Spitters. And now the task for Altair is to defend really, because what he has is the Tower of the Dark Mage. Ideally, of course, Demona could have used a sabotage on that one. And if he had that 75 mana, I bet he would be easily take down all the stuff that Altair has there. Because Skeleton Archers are obviously very vulnerable to the Venom Spitters, who does a magic damage. But since he didn't have enough mana, probably was using the Iron Acceleration for all the money, and nobody ever acquired the mana wells, because those are on the water now, and nobody can even think about the water in such an intensive game. But alright, it seems that Demona is about to go for it, and actually you could really take down this guy relatively quick with such a high amount of the Venom Spitters, right? But what you need is to split them, obviously. Or probably even attack him with just 1 unit from behind. Demona is not doing the perfect job, so the Storm Elemental hits a few of his units at the same time. But hey, I believe he just decided not to spend all too many time and clicks, or you might say taps, as Demona obviously playing on the phone, which is a legit info, by the way. Altair and Demona both play on the phone. Altair also has an account on the emulator, but he's not using it for the serious game, and I believe not this account. But it will be soon enough where you will be able to log in on the different devices on the same account, because the Google Auth is on the way right now, really soon to come. But anyways, we can see Altair trying to push down, and at last Demona decided to go for a couple of zombies, but not because they are really great right now, but because he just didn't have any other production, because he's lost all of his barracks, and now he also produced the bombers as the Goblin Lab is ready, and that bomber really showed a great result. A few Skeleton Warriors go down, You can of course split the skeleton warriors against the bomber, but you need to be aware that the bombers are even coming. And that was the first one, so Altair wasn't ready. And now the zombies are just a unit that costs really much no wood, so you can really produce that one if you are somewhat up to a bit of gold. And Domino keeps looting those chests, at least the one on top, with that worker who even almost regenerated all of his health throughout the game and the minutes that he spends on that particular spot. Alright, what Altair is doing, and he's trying to get up to a few aeronauts to be able to deal with the venom spitters, because those are mechs, so they're not very vulnerable to the poison. By the way, I wonder if you can even repair the unit that is being poisoned. Strangely enough, even though I am a part of the dev team, I'm not sure if the poison ever blocks the repair, because poison even blocks the regeneration from the scroll, which is somewhat an overall heal, applies S to the living targets and the undead targets and S to the mech. But what about the repairing? I don't think it blocks the repairing actually. But it is an interesting stuff to think about. We usually come up with like 5 things during each the StarCraft 2 broadcast. But for War Legends it doesn't happen too often. But it is still a fun part of commentating RTS, I believe. But anyway, Domino is trying his venom spitters off. Altair already starts getting his own ones. He also fights near his undead obelisk, so once any of them will go down, their soul will be dragged. Oh, probably a couple of skeleton archers already occupy that one. So the venom spitters will not be restored for free. And at the same time Domino rallies his bombers to this place, but Altair keeps repairing it, so probably not going down all too fast at this dark gate. Also zombies have been attacked by the Tower of the Dark Magic. Repairing shows really great result right now. Eater's trying to help. Not too much helpful, but another zombie is about to go down. Venom Spitter trying their best, by the way. One Venom Spitters was still restored, which is a great thing when you are nearly dead and in the very last moment this expensive unit pops up there for free and you feel like being safe and incredible stuff. But at the same time, what I didn't show you, because so much action is going on, is that Domino captured his mana well, obviously, and Altair was trying to do the same, but it is the Domino schooner already attacking Altair's shipyard, which will not be able to finish if Altair will not take care of this one. Probably needs to use his air units for that, but obviously Domino can also cover. So it seems like Altair is losing his sea part of the map. Alright, so the schooner is being hiring, or rather being built. Nobody repairs the shipyard because obviously the worker will be just shut down quickly. But this worker line is not so easy to be taken down, because the Tower of the Dark Magic is not an easy target for the Venom Spitter hosted in magic damage. But now that Altair does not have a shipyard, Domino can actually go for his mana one, because you can't capture this one from the ground. It is the condition we made, so you can only capture the sea stuff from the sea, so you can only use the ships to make it. Even though it seems to be close, but you can't capture it from the ground. And once Domino can deny Altair from going sea, he can really take his mana well and spam off with the scrolls. But he lost his ship and he's probably not going to build another one. Rather, he's just trying to harass from this part of the map. He got a couple of units here and there. I'm not sure he even capitalized on that too much, but at the same time he also attacks to the front lane. And now the aeronauts go down, and not really too fun to push that very tower of the dark magic, the game savior for Altair. Delana's not really microing too greatly right here, but it seems that the restoration scroll, or whatever you call it, recovery scroll, is doing a great job. Another tower of dark magic coming up, but not too sustainable while still being built. And then also keeps attacking front. Interestingly enough, he's still not up to a single hero. Only play the units, no heroes like at all. This kind of strategy may be really a case I may approach us when we go release, because the Eater will be an epic hero, which is not really easy to even get and even harder to level up. It will be really expensive stuff to level up, such same as the princess, of course, because they're epic. So probably you really will want to have a no-hero strategy under your belt. This one is interesting, maybe you should consider it. But we'll see, of course. I believe we are gonna have the next testing wipe in like 3 months, probably. So then we will try to play the game from the scratch, like from the level 1, 0 ranking, League Novice. So we'll just take a look for the last time before the launch. Is it really working? Is everything fine? And then we'll just go in a few months. That is how it's planned. Of course, the term is still a matter of deciding, a matter of consideration, because we need to make sure everything is done and we have everything we really need, like a campaign, a selling stuff and things like that. But I hope we guys are coming closer. Just as this game are coming closer to the end, because Altair cannot do anything anymore. He's trying to defend and get in another Tower of the Dark Magic, but not really protected by anything, so the Nano can even use a sabotage in a few seconds and the game is done. And that was quite an unusual one to see, so I wanted to share it with you and I hope you guys liked it. So let us know in the comments and remember that you can share your game too. Because you probably may be wondering why we also see the same players. And the reason for that is because you guys are not sharing your games with me. So to make it, make sure to join our Discord server, and there is a channel called Share a Battle. And in there you launch your replay, you make a screenshot of the loading screen, upload it to that channel that's called Share a Battle, and post a short description like, for that game I'll go with something like, that was an interesting one, starting off with the 2 proxy rocks into a non-hero macro game, a bit of C, a bit of the undead battles and really intensive game, so I recommend it to watch. So that was something I'd be probably take a look on, and maybe that would become a video on our YouTube channel, so make sure to once again join our Discord server, and you can find a link in the description below. So I'll be waiting and see you next time. Bye bye.